Boom.
In that furnace of affliction, see the crook or conviction when you got mouths to feed in a poor economic condition. Gotta make someone shake them, they can end you up in prison when you got more money than month with no obvious prediction. Talking pressure, why pressure, pressure, woo. Talking pressure, why pressure, pressure, woo. Talking pressure, why pressure, pressure, woo. Talking pressure, pressure, talking pressure. Taking L's from the get-go. Niggas working 4 jobs with no echo. Taking loss after loss in your bank account. Sitting on nigga Tahoe with a naga chick at the crib in your pride. You constantly having to swallow with your whip on E with no money. Only family gonna eat tomorrow. Nigga, that's pressure. The blunt lady just don't even have the bounce on his kill to measure. When you got a pot on the block with the work saying he got the key to remove that stressor. And you crying out to the Lord who needs to please to change the weather. I feel like jumping hell when Satan God sat down and made a wager. Welcome to hell, where you were welcome to sell. What niggas they sell, they sold. The niggas out here on bail, but niggas they think it's cool, but they can't really tell if they going up or down, or left and right up in here. But me, I'm tight roping on this line so righteously. A nigga clocking down, fall baiting debauchery. Free gift bag, moving jump so froggy, crouching tiger, hidden dragon, hubris thinking they savvy. In that furnace of affliction, see the crook or conviction when you got mouths to feed in a poor economic condition. Gotta make someone shake them, they can end you up in prison when you got more money than month with no obvious prediction. Talking pressure, why pressure, pressure, woo. Talking pressure, why pressure, pressure, woo. Talking pressure, why pressure, pressure, woo. Talking pressure, pressure, woo. Talking pressure.
Shalom, Israel, with the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, starting out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under the commanding General YAHANNA. Today is Sunday Scripture Breakdown class, where we go into the scriptures and answer questions from people in the class. Today, brother has a couple of questions that he need answered. We like to answer these questions in front of the nation, because the same questions that one man have is the question that others will have as well. So we're finna go ahead and get into these questions. And after that, I think I got a lesson that I'm gonna teach on something. Go ahead. Speak a little louder.
Lucky, I wanted to know, why is it that a prophet, like, how come people, like, they try to separate themselves from you, and why don't they, like, feel like they could give you love, but they don't, like, feel the same around you after you come into the school? You know what I'm saying?
Why is it that when you come into the truth, people treat you different?
Right.
Okay. Give me the scripture where they hated me. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, sir.
Give me that. Give me that scripture. Give me enemy, friends with the world is enemies to the Most High. Give me that. Give me I came to set man at variance. Give me that. Whoever get one first, read it. One thing you got to understand about coming to the truth is, when you come into the truth, you are the conscious in their mind now. See, it's cool with people to have a conscious in their head, because in their head they can say whatever they want, whatever is in their head that they agree with, then they can roll with that. But when they have a conscience that's standing in front of them and they know what that person is saying is right, the best thing to do is to get away from you. They can't get away from the thoughts in their mind because it's in them. So they hear a thought that say, you know what, he's right. They ignore that thought. Then they hear another thought in their mind that say, do what you want to do. They're like, yeah, see, I'm independent. I can do what the hell I want. So that's the one they roll with. But when they standing in front of you and you telling them what's right according to the scriptures, the easiest thing for them to do is to get away from you. You understand?
Right.
Who got one? What you got?
John, this is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 18. If the world hate you, ye know that it hated me before it hated you.
If you're going to be a follower of Christ and you're going to take on Christ's weight, Christ's burden, you're going to carry your cross and follow Christ, right? Well, you are going to have to be ready for people to hate you. Because if you're going to be a follower of Christ, then you're going to have to go through the things that Christ went through. That's the whole point of you dying. Dying to yourself, because Christ died for you. You understand? So what it is if you're going to be a follower of Christ, you have to be ready for your friends and your family and your loved ones to hate you, to not like you, because you are fighting against them and their spirit and their carnality and everything that they want to do. How? Read.
Verse 19. If ye were of the world would love his own.
You see, when you were smoking weed, everybody loved you. When you was robbing and stealing and gangbanging and drug dealing and being a whore and doing all the things that everybody else do, nobody had anything bad to say about you. Why not? Because you were not a conscience in their mind. You were not someone that could say, don't steal. How you gonna tell me not to steal and you stealing? Right. How you gonna say, man, you can't smoke that weed, man, because smoking weed is a sin? You smoke weed. How you gonna tell me you can't smoke? Right. You understand? When you live differently, then you can tell somebody to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
But because ye are not of the world.
But because what?
Ye are not of the world.
Because you are not of the world. Read.
But I have chosen you out of the world.
Wait, you chose to get out the world. Read it again.
But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world.
No, I decided to follow Jesus.
But I have chosen you out of the world.
You see, another thing you got to understand is that Christ is the one that gets you out of the world. He handpicks and selects you. Go ahead.
So it's not that I made the conscious choice to come in. I was already predestined to come in.
The Lord chose you out of the world. Give me that scripture. Hold what you got. Give me the one that said, for I chose, you did not choose me, I chose you. That's all you got to look up. It's going to pull up. Yes. A lot of people think that, Christians love to say, I decided to follow Jesus. When I came to, when I decided to do it, you didn't decide to do it. You didn't decide to come here. Now, you decided to go to church. You decided to go to fake Israelite groups. But to come in here, you were selected. Go ahead, read what you got.
The book of John, chapter 15, verse 16.
I was getting to it, so it's the same. I was in the chapter.
Oh, no sweat. What verse you at right now?
I'm at verse 19, so verse 16 verses up.
No sweat, read it.
Come on. Verse 16. Ye have not chosen me.
You see that? We didn't choose to follow Christ, but what?
But I have chosen you.
That is what people don't understand. That takes the whole, I'm righteous because of me out of your mind. The Lord chose you. He saw something in you that he knew that the school could bring out. And he put you here to bring it out of you so you could be a vessel for him and go into the world and bring other people like you out of the world. Keep reading where you at. Wait, is this some on that? Go ahead.
And ordained you.
See, you come in here and get ordained. You don't get ordained in the church. You get ordained when you get out of the world. Not when you're working on yourself. When you come into the truth, the scripture said that the angels rejoice when somebody leaves the world. Coming in the truth is turning your back on the world. When you go into the Christian church and get saved or whatever, get baptized, the world does not turn on you. No one stops talking to you because you go to a church. So that means that you are still of the world. Because what it say? What was the first verse you said? If you was of the world, you wouldn't what?
Come. This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 19. It's like verse 18. If the world hate you, ye know that they hated me first. Verse 19. If ye were of the world would love his own.
That's it. If you was of the world would love you. So when you in the church, who hates you? Who turned away from you because you go to 1 John Baptist Church? Nobody. Everybody embraces you because you're still in the world. You go into church, you get dipped in the water. You go in a dry weed head. You come out a wet weed head. You don't come out no different. The only difference is you wet. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So nobody has a reason to hate you. Keep reading.
Okay. I had a question.
Go ahead.
Is this John 15 to 16 also a cut for like those people that want to go like start their own fake Israelite group? Because you know how we say we ordained to teach the Lord, the word of the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Like we didn't just self-ordain ourselves. You know,
right.
The Lord chose us. So people that can't deal with their pride and stuff gets them. They can't deal with correction, so they want to say, "Oh, I want to go start my own stuff," but the Lord didn't ordain that.
Right.
So that's a cut.
Yeah, that's a good cut for that. Letting you know that you can't self-ordain yourself. You can't choose to be. You can't say that I'm going to just do this work, and I don't got to be under no man. It's always about following a man. That's the problem. But if you read the Bible, you are following men because men wrote the Bible. Either way it go, you following. If you leave this school because people say, that you in a cult and this and this and that, what are you doing? You following men. If you following anybody's opinion, you following men. It's no way you can get around following men. Period. If you following yourself, you following a man. You a man, ain't you? I mean, it's no way around it. So that's a very ignorant statement to make. It's a selfish statement to make. And the only reason people say it is because they don't want to do what's right. They don't want to change, like we said. They don't want to change their life. Keep reading where you at.
This is the book of John, chapter 15, verse 19. If you were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hated you.
You see that? The Lord, keep reading. That's why you hate it. Hey, that's why you hate it. Because you're no longer in the world, you're out of the world. Keep reading.
Verse 20. Remember the word that I have said unto you. The servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you.
You are not better than Christ. You understand? Yeah, Aaron. Go ahead, get the dough. You are not better than Christ. So if you are a follower of Christ, you got to know and understand that if they what? Read that part again.
Remember the word that I have said unto you. The servant is not greater than his Lord.
If you are not greater than Christ. So what?
If they have persecuted me, they will also persecute you.
That is how you know you're in the truth. That is how you know you're in the truth. The reason you know you're in the truth is because of the persecution. Persecution don't start when you're just a Christian. It starts when you come here, when you get in the body of Christ. Go ahead.
So it's not that they hate you per se. It's just that they don't agree with what you're doing, or
they hate the new spirit in you. The enemies of the Most High is friends with the world. So they hate the spirit of the Most High that's in you. The light that they see. The demon in them hates the light in you. Go ahead, what you got?
If I could, sir. It's very interesting. Like when you come into the truth, first and foremost, like the first thing that you gotta do, like you gotta acknowledge, you know what I'm saying, that you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And all the shortcomings, the things that you've done. And when you clean yourself up, you know what I'm saying, and you go back out into the world as a representation of the Lord, you are a reflection of what they're not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when you go face to face with these people, like your family, you know what I'm saying, your friends, you know what I'm saying, I know you from Gary, you know what I'm saying, the people that you meet back in the world, they don't know this you. And by you not smoking weed anymore, you know what I'm saying, by you not, entertaining whores, you know what I'm saying, running trains on whatever, you know what I'm saying, like you are a reflection of what they should be. You know what I'm saying? And for that, they hate you for it. You know what I'm saying? Because you change, they're required to change. So they rather just not deal with you and see your light and just dwell in darkness.
Your change lets them know they can change. They just choose not to. That's what you do when you come in here and change. Because everybody knows who you used to be. Everybody know that you used to smoke. People know that I used to smoke all day. And then come in here and not smoke at all. It convicts them to let them know that, man, I could really do it if I wanted to, if I tried, because he did it. And I know he was going every day, all day. So now it's like, man, we finna chill at the house. Don't invite him, though, because I don't feel like, you ain't even finna come in there and say not to smoke. You ain't, they think you finna come in there and be like, put all the blunts out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You just finna, right, you finna come in there and walk in the room. That's it. And you're gonna walk in with a glow so bright that demons are gonna hate being around you. So they would just rather not be around you. They'd rather not deal with you. They'd rather just push you away, let you what they say, let you believe what you want to believe.
Right.
You believe, you got your beliefs, I got my beliefs.
Right. That's your doctrine.
But we reading the same Bible.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's only one right way to do 1 + 1.
Right.
There's only one answer to the question. So they trying to make it like it's multiple choice, and three of the choices are correct. One of them is wrong. No. It's only one you can pick out of these 4 bubbles. So that's what people don't like about you being here. It's not you, it's what you represent. Go ahead. Let me hear it.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 26, verse 16. But rise and stand upon thy feet, for I have appeared unto thee for the purpose to make thee a minister and a witness both of these things which thou hast seen, and of those things in which I will appear unto thee. Verse 17, delivering thee from the people and from the Gentiles unto whom now I send thee. Verse 18, to open their eyes and to turn them from darkness to light and from the power of Satan unto God.
That's it right there.
That they may receive forgiveness of sins and inheritance among them which are sanctified by the faith that is in me.
That is what you're putting in them. You're saying you can do it. You can inherit this righteousness. You can be clean of drugs. You can not be a whore. You can get a new life. And they like, yeah, I know I can. I see your new life. It look cool. But this life right here I'm living is what it is. I love being this person. Who got that? Who got one of the other scriptures I told you to pull? Said man at variance. Who got that variance? You got it? Go ahead, I wish you quit. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Right.
So I messaged my cousin. They see my face, know it's me.
Right.
And she saw the name, and then she told my other cousin, well, I wasn't going to accept this prayer request because I don't know who that is. I don't know you right like that. And I'm like, damn.
That lets you know it's a different. See, like they letting you know that you are not who you used to be. By acting like that with you, You the same cousin that they've been knowing all your life. You just don't do the same things. But you the same person. But you are different. That's how big of a difference that's how big of a change you make when you come in here. Go ahead.
Sir, if I may, a precept of what you just said is 1 Peter 2:9. But ye are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people, that ye should show forth the praises of him who has called ye out of darkness into the marvelous light.
Yeah, you are that example. You have been called out of darkness, and you called out of darkness to do what? What is your job as a priest? Trooper. To serve, and what else? Go ahead, Habanah.
Bring them out of the darkness.
To bring them out of darkness. So if I'm a demon and I'm living in this body, I'm trying to keep this person where? In what? In darkness. And you walking up with LED lights blazing out of you. What am I going to do? If I'm trying to keep me in darkness, how can I keep me in darkness? To get away from you. It's that simple. So now I have something that tells them, man, don't be around them. Man, he in the cult. He worships Satan. They do human sacrifices. He got to tell you something in your mind to make you flee. Get away from me. Now set a man at variance.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 34, starting at verse 34. Think not that I have come to send peace on earth.
That's the first thing that Christians don't understand about Christ. Christ didn't come to bring peace on earth, not the peace that they think. The peace Christ came to bring was to get his family out of hellish conditions, not to bring all nations together holding hands, singing Kumbaya, my Lord. That ain't the peace Christ came to bring. Keep reading.
I come not to send peace, but a sword.
And how is he going to get this peace? Through war, through a sword, through killing. That's what Christ came to do. He came to bring killing to put things in order. Read.
For verse 35. For I am come to set a man at variance.
At what?
At variance.
What does variance mean? Somebody tell me what variance means. Difference. Vary, like you go in the store, the prices vary. Different prices. You understand? I came to set a man at variance, at difference. Read.
Come on. Against his father. And the daughter against her mother.
Against your father and your mother. Your family members. The ones you love the most. Christ came to separate you from them. Read.
And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Verse 36. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
And a man's what?
And a man's foes shall be they of his own household.
What's a foe? Uriah? A man's enemies are the ones that they love the most. Now, somebody give me, you're not worthy of me if you know what I'm talking about? If you said mother and father over me, you're not worthy of me, something like that. Go ahead, keep reading.
I was gonna say, because he had wanted to know why they want him to love them more than
keep reading.
Verse 37. He that loveth father or mother
Let's see right there.
more than me is not worthy of me.
See that? That's what Christ brings. That's the message of Christ right there. See, that ain't in the Christian church right there.
Right.
Christ came to see if you loved him more than the people you've loved all your life. That's a hard test to pass right there. The people that has given you everything, that have shown you all the love and compassion, is the ones that he want to see if you love him over them. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir, if I may. But like with most people don't realize is like Satan not gonna come to you in the form of like the white man, like that's your enemy. You know what I'm saying? He gonna come to you in the form of something that you love, something that's gonna be able to catch you off balance. You know what I'm saying? Your children, you know what I'm saying, your wife, your husband, you know what I'm saying, your father, your mother, your father-in-law, your mother-in-law, your best friend, you know what I'm saying? These are the ways that Satan's gonna come at you, you know what I'm saying? Because his whole purpose is to get you off balance, to make you fall. You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly right. Go ahead.
So like with all that they vision towards you, not really how, but you still gotta show them all the love and compassion, regardless of like how they treated you and shit like that. I'm not saying like I hate them or nothing like that. I still love my family. You know?
Right. Right.
Like I view myself closer to y'all than I would them, even though I've known y'all for shy of a year. You know, I've known, but I see how they're doing.
Right. What makes you close to us?
I guess this work.
The work of the Lord. See, being in a family, your family, you love your family. You never lose your love for your family. But what makes us close is we have a mutual understanding. We have a moral understanding. Like, put it like this. We have, some of us got family members that steal, right? That will steal your diamond ring off the counter when you washing dishes, right? You don't want that family member in your house because you know he'll steal the drawers off the floor right after you take them off to get in the tub. You know what I'm saying? You know that. Now, are you saying you don't love him? No. Now, will any one of us steal your ring when you washing dishes? Or any one of us trying to steal your drawers off the floor when you about to take a shower? That makes you closer to us because we got the same. Like, one thing about Arabs and Chinese people, the reason there are no homeless people on the streets from the Arab world or Chinese world, because all Chinese people are mostly Buddhists and they all live by the same principles and the same morals. All Arabs are mostly Muslims. So they all have the same principles. So if you try to rape an Arab woman, it is common law all over the Muslim world. You're supposed to die. You're supposed to get your head cut off. You're supposed to get stoned. You're supposed to have a gruesome death. But as a black man, Hispanic and Native American, we Christians, we Muslims, we Catholic, we Presbyterian, we got all these different beliefs. So one of us could say, you know what, I don't feel it's that bad. Then the other one can say, well, I would never do that. Then the other one can say, well, just forgive me. You ain't got to worry about that with us. So it makes you closer to us because we got the same mindset. You know what I'm saying? It's not to say that you don't love your family, because you love your family, but how is your family going to ever see what a real family is without you showing it to them? You got to stay around. See, like, when you come into the truth, the first thing you want to do is not go to any family functions because you don't want to be around them. But how will they ever see the change in you if you don't go around to show them the new you? They think the new you is just all Bible talk all day. You still play cards, you still drink, you still laugh and make jokes. You know what I'm saying? You still have fun, you still human, but you just don't smoke while you having fun. You ain't being a whore while you having fun. You know what I'm saying? You have different morals now. And those morals can even either strengthen a person to want to become better and change their lives too, or those morals could make that person not want to be around you, not want to deal with you, not want to see you. You understand? Go ahead, Al. What you got?
Oh, I had a precept.
Go ahead. You got a question? Oh, go ahead.
So something that you taught me, sir, because it was kind of along the lines of what Uriah was talking about. what you're right. Like one thing that you got to understand is like also Yazak told me this, like you can't lack compassion and empathy and mercy for your people, right? Especially your family. You understand? Like you can't get so caught up, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? It was a point in time where you weren't doing this. You know what I'm saying? And you're like he said, you're the example for your family. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you can't lack the mercy that God has shown you. You can't lack the compassion that God has shown you. Yes, the spirit of the prophets is subject unto the prophets. But Paul said, my hope is that Israel will be saved. So you can't hate your own people. You know what I'm saying? You can't get frustrated with your own people. And this is a hard lesson for me. You know what I'm saying? And also Yazak, he's the one that taught me this. You got to have more compassion, more patience, more empathy for your own people, because the whole purpose at the end of the day is to gain a brother and to gain a sister. That's what your family is. They're your brothers and your sisters, your family in the truth and your family in the world. They still your people.
Give me Matthew 5:14. Read it.
Come on, sir. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid.
Keep reading.
Verse 15. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel.
You see that? You don't come into the truth to hide your light. Right. You're the light of the 12 tribes. Right. The Lord chose you to illuminate your brothers and sisters and to bring them out of a dead state. Right now, our people are the walking dead. We alive, but we dead because they sinners. You know what I'm saying? The Lord chose you to be that light of the world. Keep reading. The city on the hill cannot be hidden. The Lord didn't put you on top to wake people up to hide that light. Right. Read.
But on a candlestick, and it is given light unto all that are in the house.
But you put it on a candlestick. We wouldn't light all 7 of these up and put it under the table. It ain't gonna light up the room. But we sit it. Remember that time? What was that? It was the feast, and the lights went out. We set this right here, and it lit up this whole room. Now, if it was under the table, we would all been sitting in darkness. That's what you do when you hide your light. That's what you do when you hide the truth from your friends and your family. When you a covert nigga in the truth, when you only in the truth when you come to class, but when you with your partners, you Darnell, you are hiding that light under a bushel. Keep reading.
Verse 16. Let your light so shine before men.
I mean, don't be afraid and ashamed because they don't like you because you're in the truth. Let it shine before men. Wear your fringes wherever you can wear them. Wear your dies out. You understand? Let your zeal show before all men. Keep reading.
That they may see your good works.
That they may see your what?
That they may see your good works.
What works is talking about? The way you clock in at Walmart? You clock in on time. You need to post it on Facebook. I'm on time every day to work. No. It's talking about they need to see you at camp. You need to post pictures, videos, class. They need to see your good works. Because when life get hard for them, even though you in the cult, you the one that's following Satan, when life gets hard for them, who are they going to call? They're going to call you. The cult leader. That's who they're going to call. They're going to call that person that's brainwashed. They're not going to call no Christian. They're not going to call the uncle in the family that's the pastor. They're not going to call the family members that go to church every week. That cousin that you ain't talked to in 8 years is going to call you because he sees your posts. He sees the classes. He sees how you dress. He sees your hair. He sees you don't eat pork. He sees the difference in you. Keep reading.
And glorify your Father which is in heaven.
This ain't for you. This ain't to give you credit. It's to glorify the Most High. It's to glorify Christ. We are living the punishment and the conditions that we live in because we are following Christ. So if they hated him, they're going to hate you. Go ahead, somebody else. Somebody holding up something else for me?
Yes. Matthew 6:31.
We can hold that. Is that good for that question? You good? No sweat. You got another? Somebody had another question?
Okay, so now say like if somebody is down talking the truth, like what is that? Because like okay, I was just kind of segue into like what's going on. So I went to my cousin's house. Then this is another cousin where one of them they had talked bad about the truth to him in comparison with me, but he didn't see no fault in it. He welcomed me in his home. He wanted me to come in with my head. He saw my friends on my pants. He said, "Damn, man, this fly right here, like I ain't never seen nobody dressed like this before."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, "Shit, man, the friend is like this. This is a commandment. Like, this is the Bible. Like, and I'm just doing what the scriptures say."
Right.
And he like, "Man, like, you know, I'm fucking with it. I don't know how it's going to affect me, but the way that they see it is that hell, you kind of beat off to yourself. You kind of shit with others. They trying to birthday party. Nobody invited me to, and like, so I wonder, like, what is it to them to down talk the truth? Like, does anything happen to them for it? Does anything that happen to them for saying bad things only? Or, you know what I'm saying, like that?
Well, one thing you got to understand is you come in here, you come in the truth. The Lord is with you. The Lord protects you. And when people don't like you, then they don't like the Lord.
Right.
They have just made a new enemy. So by them not liking what you do or what you represent, do you represent yourself? Do you represent anything that has anything to do with you? What do you represent by being in the truth? You represent who? Okay. So if you're walking around with a blue bandana in your back pocket, who do you represent? You represent the Crips. So if someone mess with you, then who are they messing with? They messing with all the Crips, right? Well, that's the same way it is with being in the truth. Somebody dislikes you, someone mess with you, they messing with the Lord. So what they say, they can put themselves in judgment with the Lord because of how they treat you. Because you are not just alone. You are a part of something bigger than yourself. You are part of something that the Lord ordained. So yes, they are putting themselves in danger. They can say something about you, and then something can happen to them because of how they speaking against you. That happened in the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Men can't go read what you got out.
2 Kings chapter 2, verse 23. And he went up from thence unto Bethel. And as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children.
Now, this is a priest and prophet of the Lord. He walking through the woods. And these kids, these are children. These are not adults. These are little children speaking against the priest and prophet of the Lord. Read.
Out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, Go up, thou bald head. Go up, thou bald head.
Little kids saw a priest and said, look at you, bald head, bald head. Look at you. He a chicken head. They talking to a priest. What happened?
And he turned back and looked on them and cursed them in the name of the Lord.
Wait a minute. He said what?
He cursed them in the name of the Lord.
This priest cursed them in the name of the Lord. You know what? He probably said, I hope something bad happened to y'all. Right. Read.
The Lord gonna kill you.
Yeah, he's like, oh, bald head, but the Lord gonna kill you.
Right.
Read.
And there came forth 2 she-bears.
Came what?
There came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tear 40 and 2 children of them.
2 bears ate 42 children for talking about a prophet. Now, can something happen to you for talking against somebody in the truth? Hell yes. You can lose your life by talking against a man or a woman of the Most High.
You know, if I could add, sir.
Go ahead.
It actually happened to a comedian that was talking about the I.S.U.P.K.
The one that was rolling with
Get his name.
Mike
Gibbs.
The one that was rolling with Mike Gibbs. It was another person who had something to say about us that died recently.
The so-called general dude.
Yeah, the dude from General Hospitals. You know what I'm talking about? The mixed dude.
Oh, yeah, Come.
He died not too long ago. He stood in front of the camp talking noise about the school. The Lord, just because punishment is not extract expediently, that does not mean that the judgment is not coming. The Lord tries to give you an opportunity to change your mind, but your words go forth and they do not come back void. You have to give an account for the things you say. That's a scripture. So that's why you got to watch your mouth. You can't just be out here loose lipping. You got to, the thing that can get you in trouble the most is your tongue. And it is the smallest thing on your, matter of fact, give me that. Give me, try James 3:2. I got Galatians 4:16. Read that first. Somebody else give me James 3:2.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 4, verse 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth?
That's normally how it works. You're not lying to them. You're telling them the truth. But they hate you for it. And you know what people always say? I would have respected you more if you would have just told me the truth. And then when you tell them the truth, they hate you. Because one thing about the truth is that it hurts. People try to make the truth seem like it's supposed to feel good. But everybody said, the truth hurts. The truth hurts. Okay, well, when you hear it and it hurts, be happy that you got the truth, because that's what you say you would rather get other than a lie. You know what I'm saying? Where we at?
So this is the book of James, chapter 3, verse 2.
Yeah, let me get that.
For in many things we offend all.
Mm-hmm.
If any man offend not in word, the same is a perfect man.
See, if you can, it's a lot of stuff that you can do to offend people. But if you can control your mouth, that is a gift. That is something hard to do. Keep reading.
And able also to bridle the whole body.
If you're able to control your mouth, then you can control your whole body, because everything you do comes from what? Something you say. Your mouth is your word. So whatever you say you're going to do, that's what you got to do, because you said it. If you say, man, the next time I see him, I'm going in his mouth. The next time you see him, what you got to do? You got to go in his mouth because you said it. So if you was to just keep your mouth shut, bridle your tongue, then you could bridle your whole body. You could keep your whole body in control if you could control your mouth. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 3. Behold, we put bites in the horse's mouth.
We put bits.
Bits in the horse's mouth.
We put a bit in the horse's mouth, read.
That they may obey us.
You see that? How big is a bit? A bit is about that big. You put a bit in the horse's mouth so he may obey you. You control a big old horse with something this big. Keep reading.
That they may obey us, and we turn about their whole body.
You put this little piece in his mouth and pull it this way, and the whole horse gonna turn this way. You pull it back, he gonna stop. You let it go, he gonna run. That little bitty piece controls his whole body. Keep reading. Go ahead, Al. That's the reins. The bit is what you connect the reins to. Keep reading.
Behold, also the ships, which though they be so great and are driven of fierce winds, yet are they turned about with a very small helm.
You see that? You go into the part of the ship where the steering wheel at. You moving the whole ship with this little wheel. You ain't gotta roll this way like you used to. You could just turn the ship like this. And the whole 30-foot, 50-foot, 200-foot ship is gonna turn because of this little wheel. Keep reading.
Whithersoever the governor listeneth.
The governor is the captain of the ship. Read.
Even so, the tongue is a little member and boasteth great things.
See that? The tongue is small, but it says big things, like a ship, like a horse. It's a little bitty bit, but it's a thing that can either bring you to life or get you killed. Your tongue. Keep reading.
Behold, how great a matter a little fire kindleth.
Keep reading.
And the tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue amongst our members.
You see that? Keep reading.
That it defileth the whole body.
Your tongue is one of the smallest things on your body, but it can destroy the whole body. You can say something that gets your whole body killed. That's what it means. It's a fire that can either kindle or bring to a blaze. Make it set fire. So it's important that you learn how to bridle your tongue. That is a discipline that we learn here in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge that Christians never know. You will get cussed out in church. In church. Doing praise and worship. Step on a shoe. Let somebody with a big hat sit in front of you. They gonna cuss each other. If you don't take this mother hat off, who the hell you think can see around this big old? Ain't no brotherhood or sisterhood because they have no discipline. They don't know how to control their mouths. You know what I'm saying? We learn how to control everything in this school. Your mouth, your rod, your hands, your box. You learn how to control things that nobody in the world can teach you to control. This is a miracle. We are in a school that is performing miracles every day. People are like, I want to see y'all do a miracle. You see me? I'm a miracle. The me I am right now, the me I was 3 years ago, you look at the two in comparison, you see a miracle. You understand? That's what people don't want to understand because they don't want to change. Is that it? No sweat. Somebody got a question anymore? Any questions online? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I be spitboxing with my cousin all the time about the truth. And letting him know that he an Israelite and we the real Jew.
Right.
So he raised my eyebrow, had me question something, which I shouldn't. My spirit is in this. And he was asking, how do I know I'm a Jew? How do I know if one of the slave masters didn't rape one of my great-grandfathers or grandmother?
Very easy. Is the white man the devil?
You damn right the white man.
If the white man wasn't the devil in your spirit, like, do you know why it's hard for a lot of mixed people to come into the truth?
There's no such thing as mixed people.
Right, but I'm saying for biracial people that have a white mother and a black father, do you know why it's hard for them sometimes to come into the truth?
Because they have different dogs.
No.
Or because they have compassion for their mother, and they also lean towards their father's side too.
Right. They got that. The white man is the devil, but my mama, my granny. So if it was some white in you, you would be like, but what about Todd at work? All white people ain't bad. And then another thing, we just read it. If the Lord didn't want you in the truth, you wouldn't be here. Because who put you here? The Lord chose you. You did not choose here. He chose you. You didn't choose Christ. You didn't choose. You didn't decide to follow Jesus. He chose you out of the world. He's not going to choose an Edomite to come into this body. So that is one. That is anybody that's not supposed to be here. They're not going to be here. Period. Another thing is the curses. Right. We live under the curses. The curses are tailor-made suit for niggas, Mexicans, and Native Americans. tailor-made. A tailor-made suit means it's made just for this person. Like, I couldn't wear your tailor-made suit because it's fit straight for you. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and let me get that for you. 28 and like 54, I think. Oh no, it's not the 50s. Yeah, it's hold let me get it for you. 28. And no, it's not in the 20s. This is for a sign, and give me 45. That's it. 45 and 46. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come unto thee, and shall curse thee.
Keep reading.
And overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
Read.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
Keep reading.
Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder.
They're going to be upon you for what?
A sign and for a wonder.
What is a sign? What is a sign?
Like if I made like a sign, let you know that something is something or stop or
How do you find McDonald's? The golden arches. This is how you find something. This is going to be upon you for a sign. These curses in Deuteronomy 28 are the signs to let you know that you are these people. And for a wonder, for how long? Read.
And for a wonder unto thy seed forever.
For 50 years?
Forever.
Forever. So these curses fitting you, letting you know that this is your sign. These are your golden arches to let you know that this is that. Like, think about this. When you try to line the curses up with white people, it don't go. They ain't getting the slave. They didn't go on slave ships. White people, as a nation, didn't go on the slave ships. They not in jail as much as we are. You know what I'm saying? We are the highest in the prison population, the highest in diabetes, heart attacks, cancer, all the pestilence and the plagues on this earth goes to who first? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. There are blood pressure pills that if black people took, it would kill them.
Right.
And we are the worst. We got the highest blood pressure on the earth, but there is medicine that if we took, it would kill us. That's a sign. You always trying to get rest and never getting rest. Seeking rest and finding none. You will wish the day was you wish the night was the morning, you wish the morning was the night. All day, you just wish the day was over. That is a curse. That's a sign. And it don't fit nobody else like it fit all people. So when people start saying stuff like that, first of all, if they ain't, the Lord don't want them here, they ain't gonna be here. Second of all, them curses are tailor-made shoes for you to understand that this is about you. All right? No sweat. Anybody else got a question? Go ahead.
Can I get a breakdown on Leviticus chapter 20, starting at verse 2?
Let's get it.
The book of Leviticus chapter 20, verse 2. Again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death. The people of the land shall stone him with stones.
Okay, what's the question?
I'm just trying to figure out when it says, what does it mean when it says that giveth any of his seeds unto Molech?
You gonna answer? Go ahead. Let me see.
First question. What is Molech? No sweat. Anybody got the Underground Bible dictionary on them? Pull it. Well, I'm gonna ask another quick question. What do fake Israelites like to say the star of Molech is?
They try to say the Dawadah is the star of Molech.
Okay, so what I mean, just based off of that, I mean, we know that the Dawadah is not the star of Molech. So what is Molech?
Like the devil, what they try like a deity, evil deity or something.
Go ahead and read.
Molech.
And it's-
Heathen God.
Read what you're reading from. Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary.
This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. The definition of Molech. Heathen God worship, especially by Ammonite, by sacrifice of children. Worship forbidden the Israelites.
All right, no sweat. All right, so read the scripture one more time.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 2. Again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech.
All right, so Molech is, read the first part of the description of the definition.
The heathen.
The what?
Heathen.
The what?
Heathen.
The what?
Heathen.
God
worship.
So if you lead your children into any diverse doctrine of the heathens, you are leading them through the fire of Molech. You understand? So whether you're leading them through Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Confucianism, any type of dogma that is not the culture of our people, that's not the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High God, you're leading your children through the fire of Molech. Does that answer your question?
Go
ahead.
I also have another question. The strangers in this verse, would that be, it says the strangers that sojourn in Israel, would that be Israelites that don't know that they Israel, or would that be the heathen?
What if we think about Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Who's a stranger? Who, think about in the hood. Who is a stranger in the hood? Say that again.
Niggas we don't know.
Is it white people you don't know? Niggas you don't know. So you looking at these niggas like, who is this?
Who is this nigga?
This nigga is from 3 blocks up. That's it. He just 3 blocks up, but he from another neighborhood. He's a stranger 3 blocks back. You know what I'm saying? So the stranger that is around you, that sojourn among you. Matter of fact, let me give you a precept. Give me Leviticus. Leviticus 25, 35. Read that.
Yes, sir. This is the
25 and 35.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 35. And if thy brother be waxing poor and fallen
If thy who?
If thy brother be waxing poor and fallen in decay with thee, then thou shalt receive him.
Right.
Yea, though he be a stranger.
Though he be a what?
A stranger.
Though your brother is a stranger, read.
Or a sojourner.
What's a sojourner? A traveler amongst you. Read.
That he may live with thee.
He still is your brother. Come on, man. Stop tripping because he from over here. He from the north side, you from the south side. Now you want to act like y'all ain't blood. That is so Christian. You know what I'm saying? Christians say Brother Johnson and Sister Johnson because it's religious. We say Ak and Athwak, why? No, let me see. Sisters, why do we say ak and akwat? We say that means brothers and sisters. But why do we call each other brothers and sisters? Give her a hand. You understand? That's it. You damn right. We are blood brothers and sisters. We are family. So when we start looking at each other like family, then we'll be able to treat each other like family. But right now, how do we look at each other? Like strangers. You ain't from where I'm from. You don't do what you know what I'm saying? You a stranger to me. And that's why we so divided. That's why we so separate. Give me Romans 9. Let me show you who these strangers are. Let me show you who this whole Bible is about. Give me Romans 9:3. This whole entire Bible is about the same thing from Genesis to Revelation. It's about the same thing, got the same context all the way through the Bible.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 3. And it reads, "For I could wish that myself were cursed from Christ, for my brethren."
For my who?
My brethren.
My brethren.
My kinsmen.
My kinfolk.
According to the flesh.
According to the flesh. Read.
Who are Israelites.
That's who this is about. This is about family. Your brothers, your kinfolk according to the flesh. Everything that we do, the reason we are the way we are in this school is not because we are in the same school. It's because we are family.
Right.
Christ didn't die for the church, for the Christian church. He didn't die for a religious sect. See, Christians want to make it seem like Christ died for whoever want to be a Christian. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else, but if you believe and want to be a Christian in our religious group, then you can get salvation. No, Christ died for his family, his brethren, his kinsmen. Nobody would die for their religious sect. They would die for their kinfolk, their flesh. That's what this is about. This is totally about family. We are a big family that's scattered all over the earth. We are like the stars of the sky, the sand of the sea. That's what we are. We are scattered all over the earth. And what we are doing here in the I.S.U.P.K is gathering the stars together, gathering all the sand and putting it in one pile. And that's the nation of Israel. That's what we're doing. Did that answer your question? I'm sweating. Anybody else got a question? Go ahead, Adam.
The trials that we go through to become, to get the righteousness of the kingdom of heaven, what are we supposed to do? I know we're supposed to stay fast and, stay down, but for people that don't understand that, what are some things that we have to give up to get the righteousness?
Okay. What do we have to give up to get the righteousness that we're going to get in the kingdom?
Our life.
Give up your old life. What else?
Your old man.
Everything that you knew growing up. Christmas, gotta go. Pork, gotta go. The shrimp and the crab, the crawfish, the lobster, the Easter egg hunts, the edge ups, everything that you knew that you tried to be, gotta go. Another thing is your selfishness has to leave. In Christianity, in Black society, we learn how to be selfish from birth. Even in elementary, when they teach us to share, we're still learning to be selfish in the midst of that. You understand? Like, we go to school and they tell us to share, but then we go to church and they talk about a personal relationship. You understand? We are being fashioned in the way that we are from birth. So that has to be given up totally. It is, that's why I said that any man that be in Christ, he is a new creature. It says that old things pass away and all things become new. It doesn't say most things. It doesn't say a lot of things. It said all things. So you got to give up your old life, everything about who you used to be. Go ahead, sis. We got to give up what we thought we knew about the Bible because they didn't teach us the Bible in the correct way.
Right.
They taught us all types of lies in the Bible. They said that Noah just had 2 of each on the boat, on the ark. And when I first seen that in the Bible, that's what let me know it was time to get out of church. Right. I promise. I would have put my life on the line. Somebody would have asked me, how many pairs of animals did Noah have on the ark? I would have said 2. They would have said, is that your final answer? Would you put your life on it? I would have said, that's my final answer. I put my life on it. And I would have been dead. Because give me Genesis 6. Genesis 6 and 2. Like Christianity, it don't even make sense. But since we are so brainwashed into Christianity, we make it try to make sense. Or we think something's wrong with us. I don't have enough faith. It's me. The reason I don't understand Christianity is because I don't have enough faith yet. I got to keep getting more faith. No, nigga, you got common sense. And this is not practical knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Give me what you got.
Come on. The book of Genesis, chapter 6, verse 2. That the sons of God saw the daughters of men.
Salakia, give me 7 and 2.
Come on. The book of Genesis, chapter 7, verse 2. Of every clean beast, thou shalt take to thee by 7s, the male and his female.
You see that? Why is it that I never heard that until I came into the truth? 7s. I didn't know it was 7 of anything on the ark. I thought it was just 2 of each. But read it again.
Of every clean beast.
Of every what?
Of every clean beast, there shall take to thee by 7.
Why? Let's see. Since this is practical knowledge, it's common sense. Why is it that they put 7 of the clean animals on the ark and 2 of the unclean? Let me see if you got it, sis. Trooper. No, you're getting too deep. You're getting deep. It's practical. It's common sense. Trooper. So they can make more. No, it's not. That's not sis. So they can eat. They couldn't eat the unclean things on the boat, on the ark. So they had to have some food to eat. So they had 7 of the clean animals and 2 of the unclean. The 2 of the unclean was just for reproduction, just to make more. But the 7 was because, I don't know how long this water stuff is going to be going on. But we got to eat. So let's get extra of them chickens. You know what I'm saying? Let's get a couple of more. Don't just get 2 of them chickens. They ain't going to make it. Get a couple of more of them ox. See, just think about it. It was 40 days and 40 nights. You understand? So you got extra ox. That's going to last you. Then you got some chickens on there, some pigs, some pigeons. You know what I'm saying? You got a couple of, you know what I'm saying? They probably went out and fished a little bit, got some salmon. But what you got to understand is it was so that they can have food to eat. Why couldn't Christianity teach that? Why couldn't the church teach that? Please say it.
Because then they would have to teach what is clean and unclean according to the law.
Thank you. Give him a hand. Because from birth, you would have known that it was clean food and unclean food. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And also, too, sir, that there was actual law that was before the law of Moses that was actually written down.
Right. That lets you know that there was a law. There was a law in the garden because sin is the transgression of the law. So how in the hell, if there was no law in the garden, how did Adam and Eve get kicked out of the garden? How did they sin against the Most High if there was no law? There was a law. And we are being taught to be lawless, to be without law, to not follow laws, to be free. That's what we have been trained to be. We want to be free by not following. We think freedom is not following laws. That's what we think. When that is actually death. That's actually bondage.
Right.
Go ahead.
I want to actually expound on what he said. He said that was the first that there was a written law, right? Said that right? Written law.
Written law.
Before the law of Moses.
No, it wasn't no written law before Moses.
Before Moses, there was no actual law. It was traditions.
Right.
It was things that we did in our culture that we didn't do in our culture. The actual law of Moses, when it came from, was a penalty if you did those things. That's when it came the actual law, and that's what Christ did away with.
That's right. He did away with the punishments that came with breaking the law.
Right.
You understand? That's what you don't learn. So that's why it's important to come and get in these classes.
Right.
You understand? Because you go get in other classes and you'll be scared to press the goddamn microwave on Saturday. They're gonna tell you that if you press the microwave, you are sinning and you are not keeping the Sabbath. Go ahead, Aaron.
It would also safe to say it's kind of similar to in America, like when they create the laws and statutes, because when you live in a certain way, then you do something that's it kind of sets the balance off. You have to create a statute to say, okay, you can't do that no more. So that's why, like before, they was living a certain way that was righteous. Certain things didn't happen, certain things we didn't do, we didn't eat certain things. So then when we started doing it, that's when it was like, okay, this is the law, and that's how that is safe to say that.
Yeah, people don't want, like the other nations don't want us to follow our laws. Right. They would rather us follow their laws. Why? Everything that they do, it has a reason behind it. Why?
Because they know as long as we're not following the Lord's law, then they can be above us.
See what I'm saying? It's a game. It's a war. They know as long as you're not following your laws, then we can rule over you. But as long as you're following our laws, we good to go. Hey, nigga, I need you to sweep this floor. I need you to clean up this toilet. And you're gonna be coming out of one con in this ass. But when you keeping your laws, when you're doing what you're supposed to do, you tell him, hey, I need you to sweep this floor and go clean this toilet. And they like, I gotta keep them as sinners so that I can be over them. Go ahead.
It's like, if I may, we also had to be given the law after that captivity too, because we had been for so long under a heathen lawless nation. So we had to be retaught again, and that covenant be reaffirmed that our forefathers made.
Right. That's why most of the laws are fashioned to counter Egyptian customs. Like the no edge ups, that was something that Egyptian people did. Right. So that is why we can't get edge ups, because they were getting edge ups in Egypt. So that had to be in the law for us not to get edge ups, because we wasn't getting edge ups before Egypt. Right. But we was getting edge ups in Egypt because they had the ponytail to the side, just bald head with a ponytail right here. Right. You know what I'm saying? They had the whole box, everything, because that was things that, so it had to go in our custom for us not to do that. Right. For us not to follow the ways of the heathen. Right. You understand? Anybody else got any questions? Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. I have a question on the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 46. Mm-hmm. I'll read it out. It says, "Here be it."
So like in verse 1 Corinthians 15 and what?
Yes, sir. 46.
Okay, go ahead.
Howbeit that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural, and afterwards that which is spiritual.
Mm-hmm. What's the question? Go ahead, what's the question?
Well, thing about it is, I try to break it down to my cousin. Man, like, I hate to claim him as my cousin. He's my stepmom's like cousin or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a gay pastor. And he was over at my mom's house like a couple nights ago, and then he was trying to like debate Isla, debate my wife a little bit about it.
Of course, right?
And you know what I mean, like his spirit took away from me, and he went straight to my rib. I mean, it just so happened that my rib was chewing him up so bad, and was telling him like, who gave us the law? Like, did Christ ever break the law? And he couldn't answer none of that, so he followed us around.
She cut him with questions.
Exactly. Yes, sir. So, and then he brought up this verse, and he says, "You see, the first man is not spiritual. You know what I mean? It's of nature. So I can have my nature of what comes to my carnal body,
Mm-hmm.
and then because the natural man came first, not the spiritual man. So he was basically trying to say that he can do whatever he wants to and still love the Lord, and because your nature comes first before
So is he saying that he is not a new man? He's just the nature boy. See what I'm saying? So basically, he's saying he's just the nature man. He's the natural man. He's not the spiritual man. So he's just living in the natural, not the spiritual. You know what that means? He's saying. You know what he's saying by saying that?
He's dead to the Lord.
Something that Christians say. Well, go ahead. What you finna say?
He can be gay if he wants to.
He can be gay if he wants to, but what is he now doing away with that Christians say? Yeah, that too. But what? Go ahead, Alex.
It's like the Lord doesn't know the law.
He's not baptized. He's not a new creature. He hasn't been born again. Because if he's still in his natural man, what he don't understand, it says that it said, howbeit that was not first with the spiritual. The first man was not the spiritual man. The new man is spiritual. So if he's still natural, that means he hasn't been born again. And that scripture ain't even talking about, it is talking about that, but it's talking about the first Adam and the last Adam.
Right. Yes, sir.
That's who it's talking about. Who's the first Adam and the last Adam? We. I'm asking the trooper.
It's like it, sir. The first Adam you're speaking of, you're talking about in the garden, and the last Adam was Christ.
Give him a hand. That's right. The first Adam was Adam in the garden. The last Adam was Christ. That's why he said, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. That's why he said that. So now it's explaining that. It's saying the first man was the natural man. Adam was the natural man, but Christ was the spiritual man. That's what it's talking about. So if you want to be born again, you want to say you're the new man, then that's what it's talking about. It's saying that I used to be carnal. He could say he used to be gay, but the new man is not supposed to be gay. The new man is supposed to be spiritual, and he's supposed to fight that lust if he was new. So he cut himself by pulling. Christians always pull scriptures that cut themselves.
Right.
It's self. I want y'all to say it's called self-mutilation. And that's exactly what they do. Go ahead. Pull it.
This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 5, verse 12. And it reads, For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again. Be the first principles of the oracles of God.
When you were first taught, you would need to be taught again. What's that mean? What does that mean?
Before you can go out and try to teach, you have to be taught.
That's it.
You can't teach yourself.
You can't come in here, watch one class, and say, oh, I got it. Black people, Hispanics, Native Americans, they the Jews. God don't love everybody. and the white man's the devil. All right, let's come up with a name. Let me see. No, that ain't how it works. First, you got to be taught again. You cannot pour new wine in the old glasses. You know what I'm saying? You can't take new knowledge and you can't take old knowledge and bring it to your new self. When you're born again, when someone is born, when a child is born, a child is someone from the past, right? Y'all understand that, right? I don't want to lose y'all. And when they come into this life, they have no memory of their former life, because that is why. If they had memory of their last life, they would bring that with them. They would be pouring old wine in the new glasses. So they would see somebody and be like, that's that same nigga that robbed me my last life. They would still be holding grudges. You know what I'm saying? So you have to do away with all of what you do, what you were taught and what you were raised on, and be new. You understand? Anybody got any other questions?
I do.
Go ahead.
Matthew 5:13.
Pull it.
Ye are the salt of the earth, scripture.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it actually talking to? Because in the context we would use would be like Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans as a nation. We are the salt of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
But when I was reading, like the verse before, it said, "Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you." So from when it's saying persecuted prophets were before you, it seemed like he's talking to the prophets, or which would be the disciples in this context. And then he says, "Ye are the salt of the earth." Then we go to the next verse and say, "Ye are the light of the world." Now I know when Christians would say that, it say that he's talking about the Israelites are the lights to the whole world that's out there.
Right.
But when I was reading in context, as far as him talking to the disciples, he was saying like the disciples are the light to the nation of Israel.
That's right.
So when he says you are the salt of the earth, he's talking about the disciples.
He's talking about you are the salt. Okay. He's talking about the disciples, but
was he talking to the disciples?
He's talking to the disciples about the nation of Israel.
Okay.
And he's saying that we are the salt. The disciples are the salt to the nation, and they are light to the nation.
Right.
And they can't bring the nation out of darkness unless they show their lights. Right. So they can't be afraid to hide. I mean, they can't be afraid to show their light to the nation because, of whatever life circumstances they got. They got to show their light regardless. So it's him talking to the disciples, but it's about Israel. It's him telling the disciples how to wake Israel up. I ain't gonna get too deep, but Christ picked the disciples for a reason.
I would have thought, if I could, I would have thought, because I know it was people that people knew. I know one was, I can't remember who it was, but one was a tax person. So everybody would have known who this person was. It wouldn't have made sense for him to pick some people that nobody knew, because then you wouldn't see the change. Right. It would have to have been somebody that I knew this nigga used to sell drugs. Right. He doesn't do it anymore.
Right.
It's the Lord.
Right.
That would have been why he picked.
Right. But it could be more spiritual than that, because who was he talking about? You just said it. He said he ain't do away with the who?
With the prophets.
The prophets.
Right.
So those men could have been
the
prophets of old, because the spirit of the prophets is subjected to the prophets. Right. So it could all be full of. He actually walked up to men and said, "Take up your cross and put down everything you're doing and follow me." And these niggas was like, "Bet." Right. They had businesses. This where Peter was a whole fisherman, had his own fishing company. He was like, "Hey, I'm done. I'm following this random nigga that just walked up to me and said, come follow him."
Right.
Matthew was a tax collector. Hey, I'm gone. I'm finna go follow this. Like that, them some real niggas.
And if I could, so would you say, like, could you compare Paul to like a Creflo or something like that? Because he was known in the land as a.
You mean like a Creflo that come to the truth?
Right, that's what I
Right.
mean, like that.
Yeah.
Like you was doing this so much, and we all know you for this. Then you just drop everything and now you're Israelite.
Yeah. Okay. Creflo, I mean, yeah, Paul would be a Creflo.
Right.
He would be a high prominent figure that everybody looked up to because he was well educated. He knew different languages. He traveled all over. He had a lot of respect of the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And then one day God loved everybody and this and that. And the next day you get on Facebook, he's the white man's the devil.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that'd be a perfect example. Go ahead.
Like if I may, it was Christ's his first sermon that he taught, and it was if you go to chapter verse 1, and it says, and seeking the multitudes, he went up into the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was set, his disciples came unto him. Verse 2, he opened his mouth and taught them, saying. So this was Yahweh's first message that he spoke after he was baptized by John the Baptist and after he was in the wilderness and fasted.
Yeah, I'm right. Go ahead.
So I got a question pertaining to Christ picking his disciples for a reason. So if he knew, that these brothers were prominent, like maybe of the old, so the scripture saying you have no remembrance of things of the past, it doesn't pertain to him? Because he was here before, he was Solomon and Melchizedek and stuff like that. So when he became Christ, that scripture didn't pertain to him no more? Or?
Christ, that's why I said I didn't want to get deep into it because
so
I didn't say that he picked them because of that.
Right.
I'm saying that
Not being in the spirit. I understand what you're trying to say, sir.
I don't want to sound Christian and say the spirit led him to him. You know what I'm saying?
How we feel now, right?
But it's like when a brother coming to the truth, you can tell if a brother gonna be here or not. You can tell if a brother is just here. And like the brothers that's just here for a little while, you know when we think that they just gonna be here for a while. Because we work their ass to death. We trying to get everything we can get out of them until they leave. Because we know they ain't gonna be here long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it is, you got lifers, and then you got, I'm here for the meantime in between time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So Christ knew the scriptures. He knew the law. And that is how he used to battle the Pharisees and the Sadducees, because he knew it's like how we know what Christians think. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times in the scriptures, it said Christ knew their hearts because he knew what they was thinking. He knew what was on their mind. He know how niggas think. So a Christian look at it like he's reading their mind. He has telepathic thoughts. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like us. I can say something to you and look at your body language and know what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? That's what Christ was doing. So Christ was like, yeah, this is what he really think I'm saying. So let me clear it up. You know what I'm saying? Don't sweat. Anybody else? Go ahead, sis.
Are you on the subject?
No, I was just answering questions.
In Lamentations 5, in verse 2, I was trying to see what does it mean when it say our hearts is to aliens. And kind of like from verse 2 to verse 4.
Somebody read that for the sister.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 2. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens.
Read verse, start at 1.
The book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 1. Remember, O Lord, what is come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Verse 2. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. Verse 3. We are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. We have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us.
Now, what is the question about that?
What does it mean when it says houses to aliens and we have drunken our waters to money.
Think Martin Luther King.
Right.
Before Martin Luther King, we were employers. Now we are employees. We used to have our own. Now we work for people. We have given all of our stuff to aliens. We've given all our stuff to the servants, to the people that's under us.
Good night.
Now they're the ones with the nice houses and the businesses. And who the first millionaire in America? Was she a white woman? She's a black woman. Then all of a sudden you start seeing all the millionaires are now the billionaires are white people now. You understand? It's a role reversal. So this is a role reversal in Lamentations. Now we are the fatherless. Now we are the orphans. Now we are now our mothers are as widows. You understand? Go ahead.
Salaki, where it says our mothers are as widows, it didn't say our mothers are widows. Why? Why did it say our mothers are widows?
Is it, I don't know if I said it right, is it like because they kicked their husband out of the house?
Exactly. It said that our mothers will be like as widows, meaning a widow is somebody who doesn't have a husband, but her husband is dead. Our mother's husbands are not dead; they're just out of the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you gotta think. Lamentation was I want to say that's Babylon. That's so. What is America called? New Babylon. You know what I'm saying? So what Jeremiah and them was experiencing in Lamentation is exactly what we're experiencing today with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, which is why the Christian church can't get that from that. Because according to Christianity, that's those people. We're not those people. You know what I'm saying? If you ask an Israelite to show us black people in the Bible, that's a scripture you should go to. Right here where it says, and then it says in the next verse, our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest.
That is a black man in America.
You know what I'm saying? That is being black in America. That is being Hispanic and Native American in America. You know what I'm saying? So just
read all the way to 8, because it's going to get better.
Verse 6, we have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread.
We giving them everything so they could be happy. We gave them our businesses. They the ones that got businesses in our hood so that they could be happy. Keep reading.
Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquity.
We are living under the curses of what they've done. Now, this is the best part right here.
Servants have ruled over us.
That's it right there. The people that's ruling over us right now are the servants. Read.
There is none that doth deliver us out of their hand.
And you go to church, the pastor ain't delivering you. Louis Farrakhan ain't delivering you. Al Sharpton ain't delivering you. Jesse Jackson ain't delivering you. Ain't nobody that you look to for deliverance helping you. You got to find niggas in the hood to come and save you. That is why the I.S.U.P.K is so important.
If I could, sir, and that's like a precept, like in Deuteronomy 28:68 at the end, it said that no man shall buy you, meaning no man should deliver you. Martin Luther King not going to be able to do it. Malcolm X, all of the Black Panthers, the New Panther Party, all these individuals who we look up to for our spiritual or religious or political advice and gain and all that, none of them should be able to redeem us. That's exactly what this just said, that none deliver us out of their hand.
Go ahead.
Like, if I may, what America seems to be is because all our times before we would fall into captivity as a nation of people, you understand, we would go to our enemies and try to seek after their ways. So kind of what this scripture is explaining too is that now all those people that we went to instead of trusting the Most High, now here in this final captivity that we're in, all of them are allowed to rule over us together. So, so the only way that we can which everybody knows in the UPK, the only way that we can, the Most High has set it up to look, okay, y'all, I done gave y'all my commandments and I told y'all what to do. You decided to always go after the way of the heathens, go after whatever nation that I allowed to raise up. You sought after them instead of trusting me. So I allowed you to fall into captivity unto them. Then I saved you out of that. But now here in this place, you're gonna forget everything. You're gonna have to crawl your way back to me. So after this time, after this captivity, I know for a fact you will never leave me again.
That's right. After this captivity, you ain't gotta worry about niggas going and following the white man again.
Right.
Following some Arabs and some Chinese people. We have learned our lesson. And you know who else we're gonna teach to do that? Our kids.
Right.
Because this hell was so bad for us, we are going to teach our kids from generation to generation to generation to change and to be better people. You understand? That's what we're gonna do.
If I could, one last thing, what Ashana Pops just said was so heavy, because being that Christianity is our number one enemy, everything you just said would not be evident in the Christian church.
Right.
Because you got to go, like Paul said, the things that are written aforetime, these are the things he's talking about. You can go back and look and see when we didn't follow the law, this is what happened. Right. How do we know that we these people? Because look, our necks are under the persecution. But the Christian church teaches that, for one, the laws are done away with, meaning the Old Testament is the old thing, and that is the new thing, and we're the Gentiles and they're the Jews.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they're not trying to sell you the salvation, they're trying to sell you the sin. Because if they was telling you the salvation, then we will read Lamentations. You ain't never heard Lamentation. I didn't even know what Lamentation was until I got into the truth. Right. So what you're saying is so heavy, it's spot on. And it makes me wonder, like, are they that ignorant or are they that wicked? You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't been in this truth long, sir. And I can see this. It's all over the Bible. And if you've been ministering for 30 years, you one day looking for that cherry pick scripture, you have to pick over this. So either you're that stupid and ignorant and you do not know, or you know and you're choosing to withhold.
You just don't give a damn. Go ahead.
That's why it's gonna be so easy for y'all try to say, bring them before me so we can slay them.
Salakia. Yesterday we was talking to some preacher, and this man said, I make $20,000 a week. And he said, I know I'm a man of the Lord because I have money.
Ooh.
And he said, y'all are not men of the Lord because y'all are broke. And he meant that with every core being of every fiber of his body.
Right.
He knew that the Lord was with him and the Lord was not with us. And I said, because of your wicked pride, the Lord is going to destroy you.
Right.
And he's going to send all of that money into this school.
That's right.
And he said, no. Wait, before you clap. You got to hear what he said. He put himself in the worst predicament anybody could put themselves in, talking against a priest. He said, over my dead body.
Oh my God.
Now you can clap. And I said, with pleasure. The Lord has to destroy niggas like that. Because their pride has made them feel like they are untouchable. Their wealth and riches have made them feel like they're untouchable to where nobody can touch them. Nobody can, overlook, like they just the greatest. They're the best. The Lord is with them because of their wealth. The Lord has to destroy them. Anybody got any more questions? Go ahead, Al.
I just want to break down Daniel chapter 3, verse 15.
Let's go.
Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made,
Well, but if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace. And who is that God that shall deliver you out of my hand?
What's the question?
Is it saying that
You're right.
worshiping with music or pretty much is like
I got it. Is they saying what?
like worshiping whatever with music? Is it like worshiping other God or something like that?
No, that's not what it's saying. Read it again.
Now, if ye be ready, that at what time ye hear the sound of the cornet, flute, harp, sackbut, psaltery, and dulcimer, and all kinds of music, ye fall down and worship the image which I have made.
The image that what?
Which I have made.
The image what?
Which I have made.
What is it talking about?
The cross.
Keep reading.
But if ye worship not, ye shall be cast the same hour into the midst of a burning fiery furnace.
Why would they be thrown in the midst of a burning fiery furnace? For not doing what? Worshiping another God. That's what it was. This is about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And Nebuchadnezzar was trying to get them to worship his God. So he was saying, if you don't worship my God, if you don't take a knee at the national anthem, I mean, if you don't stand up and put your hand over your heart for the national anthem, then I'm gonna kick you out the NFL. Ain't no taking knees over here.
Good night.
That's what he said. So this is him trying to get him to worship, get them to worship another God. Go ahead.
And if I could, sir, this is talking about the Christian church, the Baptist church, because all these are instruments. And when they singing all these love songs and all these chanting enchantments, they're not singing that to the Lord, because the Lord is a man of war. They sing that to some other image, the white man has put up, that pushed on them.
That's right. Go ahead.
I just want to add to that. It's so beautiful, like how the scriptures say there's no new thing under the sun.
Right.
It's just everything that has happened before is happening now before our eyes. And it's like you'll be a fool to not come into the truth, because you like the Bible is showing you, right? It's telling you everything that's happening right now, it didn't happen before. It's the same thing, man. People just
don't want to see it. And you can't say people just stupid, because we were stupid.
Right.
We were dumb. We were them before we came into the truth. If Christ would have came back in the year 2000, we would all have been out of there. All of us. You know what I'm saying? If Christ would have came back in the year 2000, we would all be firewood. You understand? So since you are in the truth, don't look at them like firewood. Don't look at them like they stupid. Don't look at them like it's just they ignorant. They ain't got no understanding. You got to have compassion for them. Like Abraham had compassion. He said, all right, would you save them if it's 50 righteous people in the land, would you save the land? All right, if it was 45 righteous, what about 40? What about 30? What about 10? What about 5? That's us in the UPK. These fake Israelite groups, they say, you the 2/3. You're going to be dead. The Lord is going to kill you.
Right.
You 2/3. No, we don't say that. We like Paul. It is our heart's desire that all of Israel is saved. Right. That's why we go to camp. We go to camp every week because we want to save all of Israel. If it's a way possible that we can get all of Israel saved, we gonna sit out there and cut them and debate and battle with them and go back and forth with them all day, from sun up to sundown. We're gonna sit there at the information table and we're gonna show them this, we're gonna show them that, and we're gonna try to explain to them we're gonna try to answer all their questions, because we are the ones that are fighting for them. Now they can say the hell with us. They can say we in a cult. So it is our job to save them because we already know the truth. You understand? Go ahead.
Like if I may, sir, and also what we do too is if people stop and they actually, we actually dialogue with them, we also draw that line in the sand for them too. And they say, like we had a brother out there yesterday. Well, no, we were reading him a scripture verbatim. He was like, no, I don't accept that. Well, that's y'all interpretation. My nigga, man. That you're having a problem with the Bible. You having a problem with the Bible, brother. It's not what we're saying.
Right.
So, so now also do we plead for the souls of our brothers and sisters? We also draw a line in the sand and say, hey, either you're gonna do what these scriptures say, or there's a good chance you will be firewood.
That's right. Now we just gonna say, look, I understand you don't understand. Just keep coming out here.
Right.
Just come to class.
Right.
We got classes every day. You know what you don't understand right now? Ask your question in class. Maybe one day after getting cut so much, you may change. You may change your mind. When I first heard the truth, I ain't just jump down. I had to battle niggas. I was on Facebook. We was on 2,000 comment post Facebook posts. 3,000 comments on a post. You understand? Going days. I mean, actual days arguing back. I'm talking about, I remember laying in the bed at 2 in the morning, nigga, pulling scriptures all out of context. I'm talking about, Nick, all the Christian dogma. I say, God, don't look, nigga. All people. All people. I'm searching all people scriptures. All people. Wrong. Just wrong. You know what I'm saying? And then it took for me to come to myself and say, man, what are you gonna do if you're wrong? Then I had to sit there and be like, I had to have that conversation. One, the bad angel was like, nigga, I ain't wrong. And the good one was like, but you could be. It's like, damn, I could. What am I? Am I gonna die and be a wicked bastard because my pride's telling me I'm right and I'm reading this and it's saying that I'm wrong? And I was like, damn, I had to meet myself at the crossroad. You know what I'm saying? And that is every one of us had to get to that point. Every one of us had that crossroad to where it was like, is this right or wrong? Now, if I go this way, ain't nobody gonna be with this.
Right.
Like when you start overlooking all the doctrine of being in the truth, God don't love everybody. Right. The white man is the devil. That's right. Multiple wives. That's right. I'm gonna lose everybody. Right. Now, am I willing to lose everybody, or am I willing to follow the Most High? Now, if I say I love the Lord so much, like I've claimed all my life, I should be able to walk this lonely road and do it. Right. I shouldn't have to be with Brother Johnson and Sister Washington and every week. I should be able to walk alone while the entire planet looks at me like I'm strange. Because they looked at Christ like he was strange. Right. They looked at the disciples like they were strange. And all of those niggas were hung upside down on the cross. Niggas was hung on the cross. Niggas had their heads cut off, were hung. That's what they went through. So what are we going through? Oh, your mama don't want to talk to you. Right. Your cousin don't want to invite you to his kid's birthday party. Right. So, okay, I'm saving money. Right. You know what I'm saying? I got an entire brand new family worldwide that I see every year. That's right. I go to the family reunion called the Passover every year. Right. You understand? That's my family reunion. I know what I'm talking about. Big brotherhood, big bottles, big garments, big family. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't get no better than that, man. You know what I'm saying? All my nieces and nephews from all across the country, all over the planet Earth, they all coming together They like the kids went to Passover this year and seen their cousins from all over the world.
Right.
So next year they finna come back and be like, man, what's up, man? You done got bigger. Look at your voice deeper. They, you know what I'm saying? Like that is how we do when we see their daddies.
Right.
When y'all see their mamas. Girl, look at you. Look at you glowing, girl. You pregnant? You know what I'm saying? All of that. Because we don't say brother and sister just to say brother and sister.
Right.
We are family.
Right.
And that is beautiful. That, man, oh my God, that is beautiful. Go ahead.
So like if I may, and also you can be amongst your family and you forget about you even got children
Damn right.
running around. And then when it's time to go, everybody's in one place, everybody's safe. And you ain't gotta worry about your child saying somebody did this,
right.
Somebody did that.
Man, my kids, I didn't know what my kids was at.
Right.
And then I looked, some said just walk around the building. I walked around the building, they was all in a corner.
Right.
On the side.
Right.
You had the people on phones, you had the people laughing and dancing, you had the people playing chase.
Right.
And they was all in one section. Right. And it was one trooper on Shamar watching them. Right. The whole Passover. You know what I'm saying? He missed the march in, he missed the general speeches, he probably missed the goddamn lamb. But he was on Shamar watching the kids. And my kids were safe. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's family. And if our people gave it a chance, see, that's why we can't give up on them. Because it's like we see the kingdom of heaven. We in the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
And it's like we telling them, hey man, come over here. And they looking at the kingdom of heaven and like, this, y'all in hell. Right. Y'all over there wearing all that black, standing in the sun, hollering at white people. Like, they looking at what you doing like it's hell, and you trying to tell them to come on. But it's really heaven. And our people are in a condition that's so bad they don't know what heaven is. They are in a condition so bad that they look at heaven like it's hell. And they look at hell like it's heaven. And that is crazy. But it's crazy to us now because we are over here. It wasn't crazy to us when we was doing it. So we can't get over here and say, the hell with them. That's Christian. Anybody else got a question? Go ahead.
I had a question on Jeremiah 4:10.
Let's get it.
It says, then said I, Lord God, surely thou hast greatly deceived this people and Jerusalem, saying, ye shall have peace, whereas the sword reacheth unto the soul. And my question is, like, is this, when I read it, it sounded like a pastor scripture. You know what I'm saying? Like how they say, the Lord is all love and peace.
Mm-hmm.
When Christ come back, he said that he came not to bring a peace, but to bring a sword. Mm-hmm. So is that what this talking about? Or
read what verse you at?
Jeremiah 4:10.
Read 4 first.
Jeremiah 4:4.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 4.
No, read 3.
Verse 3. For thus saith the Lord to the men of Judah and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground, mm-hmm. and sow not among thorns.
What does that mean to sow not among thorns? Anybody? What does it mean to sow not among thorns?
It's saying, like, is this like just another precept for casting your pearls to swine?
Don't act like the wicked. Right. Don't sow don't be trying to teach people that really don't want to hear you. Keep reading.
Verse 4. Circumcise yourselves to the Lord and take away the foreskins of your heart, ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem. Mm-hmm. Lest my fury come forth like fire and burn that none can quench you because of the evil of your doing.
You see that? Because of what you're doing is why you're going through this. Read the next verse and then drop down to the verse you just said.
Declare ye in Judah and publish in Jerusalem and say, Blow ye the trumpet in the land, cry, gather together, and say, assemble yourselves, and let us go into the defense city.
Now, read the part, the verse you pulled.
Verse 10. Then said I, oh, Lord God, surely thou hast greatly deceived this people and Jerusalem, saying, ye shall have peace, whereas the sword reacheth into the soul.
Who said that you was going to have peace? Who told you that? Who taught you that you was going to be in peace and everything was good? Who deceived you?
Pastor.
The pastors. Your religious leaders. Correct. And the whole time what's coming to you?
Death and destruction.
A sword. Death. That's why the church is just so wicked. It is like playing on a playground full of claymores. You just playing on a playground. It's all kind of trick wires laid out. You got your kids out there. That is what we do in our community. We play and live life in a way like death is not coming. Like death is not around the corner. Like we can't die. Like we're not playing in traffic. We out there playing freeze tag in 610 traffic. No. You about to die. Death is on the way. Yeah, you dodged that car, you rolled and missed this car, but you not finna dodge all of them. It's like playing Frogger. You're going to die eventually. You know what I'm saying? It's like playing Call of Duty Black Ops. You can make it to round 32, but you're going to die on round 33. I mean, you're not going to beat the game. You understand? You're not going to beat the game. You're not going to win this game. So with that, we're going to pass the class over to Trooper Uriah.
We are the I.S.U.P.K, started out at 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After these 6 months, if a brother and a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, they will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10. Mayasha means a tenth in Hebrew. A tenth of every penny of increase that the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or head. The priest fund is a free will offering, which is not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. The next upcoming holy convocation is the Feast of First Fruits. We only celebrate the 50th day, which is June 17th, before sundown. You can find that in Leviticus 18, Leviticus chapter 23, verses 10-22. So all Hakeem, if you want to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, headbands, shirt, and scarf. These are the announcements.
With that, imagine. Sar, turn the face to east. We'll say the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abano. Shabbat Shemayim. Shabbat Shemayim. Wadash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Labaka. Ratazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Barakazah. Hayah. Bashamayim. Lakananawa. Nakam. Ko. Wayo. Wasalakanawa. Baba Pumpkinawa. Wasalakanawa. Baba Pumpkinawa. Wala'a. Wabiyayanawa. Wanasaya 1. Above. Ayashayanawa. Mayan. Right. The cup. Amalakwa. Waha'ala. Waha'ara. La'awalamim. Aman. In English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. How? Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. We forgive
Lord. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Now his kingdom, power and glory, forever. So be it.
Start. Courtesy salute to the brothers, men of Israel. Imam Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yazmatah, Sar, courtesy salute to the sisters, men of Israel. Imam Shabbat, Imagine, Barak, Yazmatah, dismiss.
Oh yeah, you see the boy that doing on Facebook?